Hello and welcome to another video with Paul and Seth. My name is Paul Long, SBA Lending Manager with Giza Credit Union, and I am joined by the broker extraordinaire,
Seth Rudin with International Business Associates, or IBA. Glad to be here. Thank you, Paul. You look
Absolutely.
great.
It's always good doing videos with you where we get to kind of share what goes on in our world and what we do every day. So, to start off, Seth, I in this episode we're going to talk about factory financing and unlocking SBA deals for manufacturers because that's a pretty big deal right now in this administration. And there's some things going on in the SBA when it comes to manufacturing, and we're going to kind of share over those. But before we do that, I want to hear your perspective, Seth, on manufacturers who are considering selling their business. Are you seeing more activity in this space? Less, more? Any trends? What you got for
Sure.
this?
Well, first, the SBA's kept you busy. A lot of change going on, and it's
Just a little.
mostly for the good for manufacturers.
Yep.
Uh, across the board, we've seen consistent demand for folks wanting to exit their business, as well as buyers wanting to buy profitable businesses. Manufacturing is the heart of America, and
Yep.
the heart of business is actually runs through small business. It's not the large corporations. Everybody pays attention to the stock market and tracks what
Yep.
Amazon, Tesla, Microsoft are doing. But the reality is the majority of employees across America are actually employed by a small business. And the owners, are aging, and their kids, this
Yeah.
generation, watched how hard they're working, and they don't want to buy it. So we're seeing lots of demand, and that's been great.
Well, hey, that's good. Bad for the kids who don't want to work, but good for you as the broker, right?
Absolutely, and the bank.
That's true. Oh, 100%. Absolutely. So, hey, Seth, have you met Mark? Have you ever heard of Mark?
No, not yet. I'd like to meet them. Or
Yeah, so MARC is actually stands for Manufacturers Access to Revolving Credit. And it's a new SBA lending program that came out and starts on October 1st. And so here's what they're doing is they're having a separate SBA program specifically for manufacturers for those that start with NACIS codes 31, 32, or 33. And this provides you lines of credit or term loans for working capital from as low as $100,000 up to $5 million, which is great. Like I said, it can be a loan or a line, depending on how you're wanting to use it, whether it's short term or long term. One of the things that's really neat about this is the maturity because on some other SBA products, it's a 5 year line of credit with a 5 year automatic term out. On this, it's up to 20 years for revolving. So you get 10 years of revolving credit with a 10-year automatic term out. If you do any sort of term loan, that's going to be 10 years. So sorry, you can't do a 20-year term loan. But that's a really nice thing to give those manufacturers a little bit more breathing room for a longer period of time, which is
and
pretty
two
cool.
things.
Yeah,
One, it's true. This is not an acquisition loan. This is for working capital, or that's
correct. This is not you to be used for work for business acquisitions. Yeah, sorry, just for
and,
working capital.
and they can prepay if they want. If they don't want to continue paying interest for 20 years, they can prepay this at any time.
Absolutely, exactly. Yep, yep. No prepayment penalty on there. Underwriting is going to be the same. We at least want to see, one-to-one cash flow coverage. And let's be real, lender's going to want to see a little bit more than one-to-one on that. But if you're a growing business, sometimes that's not always the case. We're going to make sure we like our collateral. And so we're going to definitely want a blanket lien on all the business assets at minimum. Now, on the next one here is the SBA fee. Now, the SBA always gets paid their fee, right? And it's going to be the same as a 7A. So it's whether it's 2%, 3.5%, et cetera. So that can get a little high at times, especially if you're doing the higher dollar amounts on there. But keep that in mind. The lender's going to want to do some annual review of financials to make sure that you're still healthy. And every lender out there who is a preferred lending provider, what we call a PLP, is automatically able to do this. But I would recommend you obviously talking to an institution that has it on their website or is talking about it or understands the program to make it a lot smoother of a process for you. So,
And the
yeah.
and the SBA is still giving each of these banks the guarantee that they would give on an acquisition loan.
Exactly. So 75% or 85% based on the loan dollar amount. So that definitely encourages us lenders to make these loans. That's for sure.
So if I'm a manufacturer and I want to add $1 million worth of new equipment or $5 million worth of investment, whatever it might be, I come
Uh-huh.
to GISA
Uh-huh.
and I get this loan over a conventional loan because of the long 20 years. That's the big advantage to pay the fee.
That's the big advantage over there. Absolutely. And there is so many things, and I have some other videos about this. There's a lot of things in SBA loans that are secrets that are out there that actually are benefits to the holder of the loan when you're having, maybe some troubled times, etc. There's some cool things in my tool belt that I can use on that. And so don't just think, well, SBA, oh, it's a bunch of paperwork, etc. There's a lot of benefits to it as well.
Fabulous. I'm looking forward to seeing how my clients take advantage of this.
I know, absolutely. Absolutely. Especially with business acquisitions, this could be something that we could put on with it too if they need that working capital. Now, let's talk about some of there's actually some fee waivers for manufacturing that's out there too. Now, that's really important that these fee waivers do not apply to the MARC loan or line. Okay. But if there is a manufacturing business where we are financing under $950,000, SBA is waiving the guarantee fee, which can save you quite a bit of money. I think I did the math, and it was around $25,000 in the SBA fee. So that's pretty good.
So now we're talking acquisition loan.
Absolutely, yeah. See, I got your attention now. So now for business acquisitions, that would be a case where you do a regular 7A, and as long as the loan is 950 or less, then that fee is waived. Now, here's another really very cool thing. There's also a fee on the SBA 504 loan, and they're waiving that. And notice I didn't say a dollar amount. So on the SB, so if you have a manufacturing company buying their building or buying a building and using the 504 program, there is no SBA fee if you're in that 31, 32, or 33 in the NACIS code on the 504 loan. That is a serious amount of change that you're saving on that. And so this goes through September 30th of 2026. And yeah, it's a great way to save money and build manufacturing in the United States.
Another question.
Yeah.
What about refinancing either one of these loans or an existing SBA loan? Is there any?
Again, there's always strategy, Seth. That's why you have a good banker is to go over strategy. So if you do any 7A loan, refinance, equipment, business acquisition, take your pick of whatever you're using the 7A for. If that loan's under 950, no fee. So it can definitely save you some money with interest rates, being lowered. So
super.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, most importantly, if you're looking at selling your manufacturing business, this is your guy, Seth. Call Seth at IBA. Be happy to do that for you. And of course, if you need financing, myself, GISA Credit Union, would love to do that. Again, Seth and I love sharing our knowledge, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video.
Thank you, everyone.
See ya.
I'm going.